Hello, hello. It is January 31st, 2026. You're probably wondering, hey, Amy, what happened to December? What happened to the first part of January? I mean, you've been giving us these two halves of a month for a while now, and all of a sudden, nothing? What's up with that? What's up with that? All right, I've done clips. There's over an hour's worth of clips just for December. I'm not feeling it. I got ready to edit the second half of December and I just wasn't feeling it. I never even finished the first half of December's edit. Not feeling it. Got into January and everything went. You don't need to see me like that. No. Highlight. I read some stuff. I watched some stuff. Christmas happened. Christmas break. Went back to work. Somebody sneezed. Coughed. Whatever. And then the following week. Yeah. Nobody needs to see that. So here we are. It's the end of January. We're 1 month into 2026. And I feel like I need to share with you what I read in December, what I watched in December, and what I've been reading and what I've been watching. What is my current read? You want to know? I'm going to tell you. I got notes. I took notes. If I stick with this little script, if it's badly written, but we're going to do our best. All right? Just stay with me. Just for a little bit. Let's start with my most anticipated end of the year read, which is book 7 of the Sun Eater series, The Shadows Upon Time by Christopher Ruocchio. I was very, very satisfied with this book. It gave me everything that I wanted. Everything that I was looking for, with Hadrian's telling of why and how everything came to be that he, destroyed a sun and wiped out billions of people. Beings. Not necessarily human. But you see where I'm going, okay? I really appreciated the moments of father and daughter between Hade and his kid. I really appreciated those moments between Hadrian and William the Emperor. I did. I mean, those were really good moments. I gave that a 4.5 Blossom because I enjoyed it so much. I'm not fully done with. I don't want to be done with. I wish there was another book. Guess what? I think that Christopher Ruocchio is writing some novellas. I think he's writing some short stories that he's going to give us that'll enhance some of those characters and maybe some of that stuff that happened. Like other things. Maybe there were other things going on with other people. Yeah. I have questions. Especially there's one person that he kind of left behind. I kind of want to know, what was that guy's story? I'm curious. Just curious. Next in December, and by the way, all of these were read during Christmas break because busy girl, busy preschool family event planning thing happened. It was awesome, by the way. Anyways, next book was the buddy read with Noria. We read Sweet Heat, which was book 2 of the Honey and Spice by Balu Babalola, and I really liked it. If you like a little bit of spicy and some really awesome verbal banter and dialogue between a couple, this is it. I hope there's a book 3 because I would like to read that. But here we go. Our couple, Kai and Kiki. They've had some sort of split. We don't know why at the beginning. All through the book, I'm ready to kick Kai's butt because what has he done to our Kiki? How has he wronged her? And then you find out what happened. And then you're just devastated. I'm laughing through most of it and then crying. And I did not expect that with a rom-com. It gave me so many feels. but it was good. It was good. It was so excellent. I gave that 5 blossoms. And I would recommend the Honey and Spice. I would. And the Sweet Heat. I would recommend these to anybody who likes a little bit of spice and some really good banter. And you're into like pop culture, like music and stuff like that. If you like that, there you go. There you go. If you like reading about people who are creative, doing a thing, there you go. All right. Next. I feel bad. I'm like leaving behind you like the good banter, good character growth, and I'm just verbal foreplay. What can I? Okay, enough about Sweet Heat. We're moving on to my buddy read with my best friend. Hey baby, we read another Benjamin Stevenson. It was a novella. It was a Christmassy thing. So we read Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret, and I'm going to give it a 4.5 because it's earnest, being a little bit bumbling, kind of being silly. Please don't do that with my thingy. No, come over here. I'll pat you. Anyways, back to the book. Yeah, I'm talking to some folks. I'm giving them the rundown. I know. I like Ernest. Tracy likes Ernest. I like Ernest. Tracy's my bestie. Anyways, we read it. I don't know if she loved it as much as I did, but I really liked it. I like the pacing. And I like how he drops all these hints, some clues, and you're not quite sure because you have all these people that could be suspects. I like it. And also the whole thing with his girlfriend, you think that she's going to be mad about one thing. He thinks the same thing, but that's not even what she's mad about, which just had me laughing really hard. So yeah, 4.5 blossoms. And I'm looking forward to the next Ernest Cunningham book. And I know that it's happening in March. He's dropping a new one. And Tracy and I are going to be reading that. The Bestie and I are going to have a birthday Bestie buddy read in March. That's happening. So, yeah, I'm excited. Can you tell that I'm excited about that? I bet she is too. I bet she is. There you go. That was December's reading. Let's do some of December's watches, okay? We were watching like Landman, loving those episodes in December. All 5 pops for all of those episodes of Landman. Love them all. Can't wait for season 3. I hope there's a season 3 because season 2 was good. We didn't have a lot of the, nitty gritty towards January into those January episodes. None of that, but you did have a lot of like father-son moments, whether it was him and his dad or him and his son. I love those moments. And also you had, mother-daughter moments, but that was basically comic relief. What can I say? As far as December, that was like December, January. Landman was all of that. Because the finale has happened. And it was really good. All right. So, in December, I like to watch Christmassy movies. Christmas themed. Usually rom-coms. Did not binge movies. I just like with my books. Anyways, Man vs. Baby. The guy that did all the Mr. Bean movies, he starred in it. He ends up, single dude, ends up with a baby. Very, very funny situation. And some heartwarming moments as well that I did not expect, that I absolutely loved. I enjoyed it. They're short episodes, but well worth it. I hope Netflix keeps it for people to watch for next year. If in the middle of summer you want some Christmassy vibes, there you go. Man versus Baby. Very funny. I also decided to watch another Christmassy movie my husband and I decided to check out. It was Oh, What Fun with Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought it was going to be really, really funny. So did he. We were, kind of not really hyped, but, we had expectations. We're going to give it a 3 pops out of 5. He and I found it very meh. He left kind of halfway through it like he normally does when he gets bored. And I was just left with, well, I guess it was a satisfying ending. not enough laughter. He gave me my time during Christmas week on Christmas Day to watch White Christmas starring Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. It's one of my favorites. I watch it every year. And of course, it's a five pops. It was also one of my Graham's favorites, and it always makes me feel very close to her when I'm watching those old musicals. In January, my husband and I decided to watch a historical drama. We're going to continue. I'll get back to the books. I will. Train Dreams. I can't remember who the actor was. It was a historical drama. It kind of has that voiceover. It feels like a documentary kind of feel to the movie. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 pops. He also really, we felt that it was worth the watch. There wasn't like lots and lots of dialogue, and there wasn't lots and lots of action. It wasn't that kind of movie. You're just following this guy's life as he's, having to leave behind family, making connections, kind of solitary. Some tragedy happens. Very bittersweet ending. I mean, well worth the watch if you're into things that entail like forestry and the railway back then, and when all of that started. But it was basically about him. It didn't have much to do with the other stuff. It was just, that was part of his life. That was what he did. The other show that I just binged in the last week, in fact, I finished the last episode last night, was Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. It is a Korean drama, sort of more like a time-swept romance. So basically you have a chef. She has this book that she's supposed to be taking to her dad after she wins this show. And she's like a Michelin chef. She's very, very good. She's won this big contest. She's going home. She's on a plane. And she ends up back in time. And she ends up cooking for the king. Part of a dynasty that existed in Korea back then. Yeah, she might have changed history just a tad bit or not. Who knows? I don't know. There's some reason why she's there. He supposedly in history was this tyrant, and she ends up cooking for him, basically to save her life. But yeah, she ends up cooking for him. And any of my foodie friends out there, you might actually enjoy that. And I did. I gave it a 4.5 pops. It was well worth it. Back to the books. The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie, which is book 2 in the First Law world, not to be confused with First Law, which was a trilogy, with First Law world, because I read Best Served Cold, absolutely loved it, loved the First Law books, those first 3 books, absolutely loved them. This one didn't hit the same, and I can't explain it. I maybe I will. I'm going to try anyways. I liked the dialogue. I was in it for that inner, like, banter with yourself and a little bit of that self-deprecating kind of, like, conversation going on inside. And I liked that. And I liked, like, some of the situations that happened here and there and what happens just before battle and getting ready for a battle and all the stuff that is happening in this place called the Heroes. Maybe it's the fact that there was no Glokta. And I love Glokta. The First Law series, Glokta was my favorite. And I think maybe I was missing them a little bit. We still have Shivers. He is in this one as well as Best Served Cold. But there's no Logan Ninefingers and no Glokta. And I miss them. I don't know, maybe that was it. But I also felt a little numbed when reading some of the combat scenes, but the inner dialogue that was happening during those scenes, I enjoyed. That being said, I'm giving the Heroes a 3.5. Blossom, it's not my favorite so far, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to read the next book. The next book that I read was The Right Swipe by Alicia Rye, and I give that Modern Love first book a 3.25. Yeah, 3.25. It was okay. It was a bit predictable, but enjoyable enough that I found it entertaining. But maybe it was the lack of the Kiki kind. I miss that dynamic. I did. Between the two of them, I liked this couple. They were kind of, he was just sweet, kind of like cinnamon bun, kind of sweet, cinnamon roll sweet, and she was herself. And of course, she has reasons why she just feels a little closed off, and she feels like she has to protect herself. But some of it, I just. I don't know. I'm going to talk about it today on Noria's Patreon buddy read because we're going to be discussing this particular book. So I'll talk to her about it then. But yeah. I don't know. After I finished that, I decided to pick up the Atlas Complex because I've had that ready to go. So I decided to listen to that. 4 Point Blossoms for that. It's by Olivia Blake. It's part of the Atlas 6 trilogy, and I just wanted to get it done and out of the way, and I ended up really, really liking it. And Complex was a good title because it got really complex at times because you're like different scenarios and then running through another one when that one didn't work. I mean, it got real busy towards the end. Favorite characters, Tristan and Callum. I just loved those text messages, the banter between the two of them. I couldn't tell whether they were frenemies or what. It felt like there was like a murdery bromance going on, and I loved it. I loved it. That felt like comic relief for me. My favorite character, though, was Gideon. I absolutely adore Gideon. And that was it for the Olivia Blake. I don't plan to pick up any more by her. It's not that it's bad. I wanted to taste, got a taste. Now I'm moving on. There's lots of other things I want to read. And so, yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, if you like that kind of thing, I'd recommend it to you. My current book at this point, I started it on December 1st, and that is The Price of Power by Michael Mickle. It is fantasy, and I want to get back into it. It's the first book of his Dreams of Dust and Steel. I just having a hard time sitting and just reading without having something that I'm listening to at the same time, just because focus has been off, and that's just how I've been feeling. Yeah, and when I'm feeling yucky, I really don't feel that way. Don't at all. But I'm sure most of you understand that. When you're not feeling 100% and you're just not there. But that's it. That's it. You know what? Those are the things that I watched. Those are the things that I read. Going forward into 2026, I have certain goals for myself. I have reading goals. I might have some channel goals, kind of, sort of. We'll get back to the regular, like, first of the month, half the month kind of thing. I promise I'll work on it. I swear. I just clean slate, going back to the basics kind of thing. That is what is happening. As far as my reading goes, I'm not doing any readathons. I'm not doing any reading challenges. I deleted a bunch of the challenges that I was thinking about doing for 2026 on my story graph, and then I just said, no, I'm not doing it. If somebody does like a 48, read in kind of, like a cozy reset type thing, where you're just reading whatever and doing something kind for yourself, self-care type deal, I might join that. Although I missed the last one that Jess was doing. I'm sorry, Jess. I meant to participate in that, and I just brain. I'm sure you get it. Buddy reads. I'm going to be limiting those buddy reads. I'm still planning to buddy read with the Bestie. Definitely making time for that Benjamin Stevenson in March. My buddy read that I'm doing of John Gwynn's books. That is going to continue. We'll be reading the prequel books very, very soon in the Of Blood and Bone trilogy. We'll be reading those probably in a couple months, around the same time that I'm doing my buddy read with my bestie. So that's the plan so far. That will continue. I will be picking up books from time to time with Noria on her Patreon. If the books that are chosen are something that's been on my TBR, especially, unless I can, if I have to purchase the book in order to read it with her, I probably won't be joining in on those particular buddy reads, babe. But yeah, he's gonna get some sun. Those are like reading type things. Nothing big's happening on the channel. I'm not making any big things. I mean, last year I really wanted to try to do like a live on my own. That's still a plan for 2026. I'm just carrying over from 2025. Hopefully I can get to it this year. But I don't know. I know that it's a little probably weird for me to say, but I don't want to find myself reading more books. I want to read some big books that I have on my list. I want to get those done. Yes, there's a part of me that also wants to read a little bit less, make more time for some other things. I just feel like there needs to be some sort of balance. There are things that I love to do that bring me joy that I have been sort of neglecting that part of myself, and I need to be able to get back into that, which means I need a space to do it in, and I need to clean my office. That's going to happen. I am going to be focusing on that. I'm going to be focusing on just taking care of myself personally. As far as other things going on, I need to get back into tracking my food and drink intake. I need to get back into making sure that I stay hydrated every single day, and I just need to take care of me. So I'm going to be doing some more self-care. There's going to be really some focus on that and balancing some stuff out and just, I don't know, just finding some quality time for myself. And then hopefully there'll be more time to sit down and really focus on books like The Price of Power by Michael Mickle, which I really want to read. So as far as what I plan to read, I don't have any big plans. I did get a couple of things in the mail in December. I got the 20th anniversary of this, and I haven't opened it yet, and I really want to. I want to read some of those interviews that she does with the characters, like they're real people. And I really want to read this, Patricia Briggs, which is the next book in the Mercy Thompson series. I know this kind of thing isn't for everybody, but I like the paranormal without the spicy. I just like Mercy a lot, and I want to get into this book. Winter Lost is something that I think is probably perfect for this time of year, so I want to do that. And of course, the Black Dagger Brotherhood. It's romance. It's paranormal. It's my thing when I'm not reading fantasy, and I just want to get back into that. I think that for the rest of today, I'm just going to probably spend some time tidying up. I got to find something to eat. I'm feeling very peckish. I have my reading journal out because I need to work on the calendar for February and write my thoughts and final thoughts on one of the books because I didn't do that yet. And I also probably going to write a little something about some of the things that I've watched, and maybe do some research and figure out what I might watch next. I did dabble a little bit this morning on the Netflix, tried a few things out that I thought that I might like, but as soon as I started them, I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's all I have for now about myself. I would love to hear from you. I want to know what you have for goals in 2026. What do you have that you personally want to do? I mean, it doesn't have to be about reading. I mean, what's the main thing that you really want to focus on in 2026 for yourself? And I'd love to hear from you guys. So, yeah. Until next time, when we get back to the regular thing, that is all I have for now. So, bye.